All right, thank you everyone for joining us for our call with Tyler Warren. As always, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. We'll start with Tyler Donahue.
Morning, Tyler. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. How would you assess your play in the first game of the season, and additionally, overall, now that you've had a chance to rewatch it, the tight end group at large? How do you guys feel like you performed?
Oh yeah, I think we definitely did a lot of good things, and then we definitely got a lot of things to improve. We made some plays when it was time to make plays. You saw Brenton's big time play, and but I think we definitely have a lot of things we need to improve in the run game, especially, which is always something that no matter how good you do in the run game, you're always probably going to want to improve in that. And then coming up with some catches throughout the game that we need to clean up. But overall, I think we did good, but there's definitely a lot we can learn from it, and we'll do that this week.
Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Tyler, I don't know if you saw, but Adam Brennaman listed you as one of 3 tight ends in the country he expects to have a breakout season in 2022. What does it mean to you, kind of knowing that you have that level of expectation and respect from a guy that was once in your shoes as a tight end at Penn State?
Yeah, it's very nice. I appreciate anything he says, but I'm really focused on the tight end room that we have right now at Penn State, and I'm focused on my role with them and doing everything I can to make our room the best it can be this season.
David Melandrew.
Quick question for you. What was the offense doing late in the fourth quarter when that drive was working that throughout the games seemed like sometimes the offense was not connecting well?
I think part of it might have been that we were a little up tempo for that. So that might have been something that just was working for that specific drive. And then I think you look at what Cliff did on that last drive. He really took control and showed his experience. And I think just him being here for as long as he has, he really used that experience and just there weren't necessarily big passes, smart check down passes that led to players making plays. And I think that showed a lot about him as a quarterback. And I think that was a big part of what made that final drive go.
Tyler Donahue.
It was a limited look, but we did get one at Drew at quarterback. How do you think he handled going on into the game on the road, carrying himself within the offense? And how do you maybe think that affects him moving forward, having some of that experience in his back pocket?
Oh, yeah, I thought Drew did a really good job. He came in, I think maybe it was the second play, one of their best defenders rushed off the edge, and he calmly kind of evaded the rush and made a nice throw on the sideline. I think that's really where he kind of set in and was feeling good. And I think it definitely would definitely be a good thing for him down the road. You kind of got that experience of your first live action plays. So I think now if he ever has to come in again, he'll be ready. He'll be ready to go. And I was really impressed with how he did when he came in.
John Petitschnok.
Hey, Tyler, that situation right before halftime, you get the ball back less than a minute, I believe, probably at least 50 yards to go to at least get in field goal range. I think some or maybe even most teams on the road with the lead would just hand it off and go into the locker room. What does going for that score in that situation, does that speak to the confidence that the players have in themselves, that the coaches have in you? What does that situation say about this offense, knowing that, you guys are still going to go for it there?
Yeah, I think that there's some that goes to the coaches. We work on situations like that all through fall camp, all through summer, and I think that it paid off and multiple times during that game, just being situationally aware. And then I think it really, like, Brenton went and made a play at that, and Cliff got him the ball, and then you get a good player of the ball. Big things can happen. So I think the offense was confident in ourselves because we know we've done this before in fall camp, and then it goes to the coaches as well for getting us prepared during fall camp. So it's something we have done before and we're prepared to do.
Daniel Gallen.
Tyler, what's Sean like in the huddle on that last drive of the game? I mean, what's his kind of personality? How does that come through, when you guys are in that situation?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think he's the same person. He's not gonna completely change himself or how he's been acting the whole game, and that's because he's locked in from the first snap to the last. But I think, like I said earlier, just his experience and we all know how experienced and how good of a quarterback he is. So I think that gives us confidence in him and confidence in the offense as a whole, because we know that we got that guy leading us, and he did a great job, and that worked out really well.
Tyler Donahue.
During that final drive, we saw Mitchell Tinsley stepping up. We saw Katron Allen getting the football. There's some new starting offensive linemen. How do you feel about the new pieces that have come together and kind of the ceiling that this offense has as everybody gets a little more comfortable around each other?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I feel like at this point, like internally as our offense, we don't really see them as like new guys or new pieces, because we've been playing with them since spring now. So I think that's a big part of it. We're all comfortable as a group, and I think it's just going to keep building from there. We get more confident, and we've got game reps that we've played together as a unit now. So I think that's gonna boost us forward for the upcoming games.
Ryan Risky.
Hey, Tyler. Last year, James said that, this is one of the best tight end groups he's ever been around. And we saw some flashes last year of the potential you guys had. And now you guys had a big week one. What do you guys need to do to kind of build off of that big week one? Brenton, you said, had the big touchdown at the end of the first half. You had that pass catch down to the 10-yard line to set up the game winner. So what do you guys just need to do to kind of build off of that and keep getting the group more involved in the pass game?
Oh yeah, I think it's really, we gotta learn from what we did in the game, the goods and the bads, learn from that. And then it really just comes down to what the offense needs from us from week to week, because I feel like our position is very versatile. So sometimes it might be in the pass game where we need to step up, and sometimes it might be in the run game where we need to run the ball. So I think it's really just comes down to what our offense and what Coach Yursich is trying to do that week, and we trust in them and they trust in us. So we do what we need to do.
Tyler Donahue.
Tyler, Khalil Dinkins, we heard a few good things about him in the last couple months. Not a guy we're going to see a lot in game action, it looks like, early, but what can you tell us about how he's developed in the practice field in year two, and kind of how he's becoming a Big Ten caliber tight end?
Oh yeah, I think Khalil's pretty similar to me in the fact that, like, I think when I first got here, I needed a year, and he had his year last year. So this is his second year in the program. And I think he's jumped tremendously from where he was last year to where he is now. And I feel like if he's ready to go, if his number gets called, and I think all the tight ends would agree with that, and he's just gotten better in run blocking, pass catching. He's a really fast kid. He's good with the ball in his hands after the catch. So I'm excited for Khalil and what he's going to do in the future.
Joe Smoltzer.
Tyler, what are some things you've seen from Ohio thus far?
Yeah, I mean they're a great team. It's a good defense. They played a good game last week versus FAU. So we've been in the tight end room looking at them and seeing what we could do, where we could maybe find some stuff to do with them. But they're a good team, and we got a lot of respect for them going into this week for Saturday.
Tyler Donahue.
I'm going to pick your brain on one more young guy in that room. Jerry Cross got to campus, I believe, in January. What did that head start on campus do for him? And how is he coming along from what you've seen?
Yeah, I think him getting in early definitely just helps with being able to be in a college football environment for longer. So he gets to learn the offense more. He gets to be around dudes who have done it before with older guys in the room. So I think he's doing a good job. He's definitely gotten a lot smarter. As a freshman, you come in, you got to start learning everything kind of behind where everybody else is. So he's definitely picked that up a lot. And I think he's developing very well, and he'll be another guy in the future that'll be a big time player.
We'll go back to Tyler.
This is my last one for you. You've talked about development for other guys. How about for yourself? We know the background a little bit, learning to play tight end position. How are you, now in 2022? Why are you the most confident and the most capable you've been at tight end?
Yeah, I think it's really just I've been here for another year since last year, and it's just another year of getting to work with Theo and Brenton, who are two great tight ends, learning from them. and then just working on fundamentals with everything and learning the offense better and getting smarter as a football player in general. So I think that those are big factors and just making a football player better in general.
Andrew Justin.
Tyler, last year in the Auburn game, you guys similarly had a big flash earlier in the season where the tight ends performed really well, but then consistency the rest of the year, it wasn't quite at the same level. How do you ensure that this year you don't replicate the same and instead the tight end group as a whole, you guys are consistently contributing in the passing game week after week?
Yeah, like I said, it's just we're just got to do what we're asked of, and when we get our chances, make the best of them. So when we get the throws, we got to catch them. We got to get runs at our yards after the catch, stuff like that. And then we got to, if we do good in some aspects, it'll play off the other ones. So if we're run blocking good, we're running the ball well, that's going to open up for the pass game. So I think it's really just being overall good tight ends in and out each week is something that'll help us out.
Ryan Risky.
Tyler, how would you evaluate the group's blocking in both the pass and the run game against Purdue, and what would you like to see going forward into next week to try to improve?
Yeah, there's always going to be room for improvement. So I mean, I don't want to get too high on anything, but we definitely need to just work on the overall staying on blocks, finishing blocks. Yeah, I mean, really that's what it comes down to is you're getting on your guy and finishing. Finishing is a big thing in our room. So playing to the whistle is something that'll make a big difference on a play if 11 guys are doing it. So that's something we can focus on.
Any other questions for Tyler?